The courtroom buzzes as Judge Harper enters. The bailiff calls for order. Bailiff, all rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Harper presiding. Case of Mason versus Porter. You may be seated. Judge Harper, good morning, everyone. We're here today over a rather delicate matter. A paternity dispute that has divided not only a marriage, but two sisters. Mrs. Mason, you claim your sister's husband may be the father of your child. Is that correct? Angela Mason, plaintiff, yes, Your Honor. It's true. I wish it wasn't, but I can't live with this question anymore. Judge Harper, and Mr. Porter, the alleged father, you're the husband of her sister, correct? Derek Porter, defendant, tight jaw, that's right, Your Honor. But I'm telling you, I never touched her like that. She's twisting everything. Judge Harper, Mrs. Porter, as in Derek's wife and the plaintiff's sister. What's your position in this case? Lydia Porter, defendant's wife, my position? Laughs bitterly, I can't even look at her. That's my own sister sitting there, accusing my husband, accusing us. If this turns out to be true, I don't even know what's left of family. Judge Harper, we'll get to the DNA results soon enough. But first, I want to understand timeline. Mrs. Mason, when did you suspect Derek might be the father? Angela, it was around the time my daughter, Bella, turned 2. She has the same eyes as him. Same birthmark near the neck. I tried to ignore it for years, but it's been haunting me. Judge Harper, in this alleged incident, when did it happen? Angela, 3 years ago. Lydia was out of town for a work trip. Derek came over to help me fix a leak in the kitchen. Things got emotional. I just found out my boyfriend had been cheating. I was broken. Derek comforted me. One thing led to another. Lydia, shouting, don't you dare call it emotional. You slept with my husband while I was working 2 jobs to help you pay rent. Judge Harper, Mrs. Porter, I understand your anger, but control yourself in this courtroom. Lydia, she's lying, Judge. Derek's not that kind of man. She's just jealous because I built a life she couldn't. Angela, jealous? You really think I destroy my own family just to hurt you? I've been carrying this guilt for years. Lydia, Judge Harper, enough shouting. Mr. Porter, what do you have to say? Derek, look, Your Honor, I did go to her house that day. I fixed the sink. That's it. She hugged me, sure, she was crying. But that's all. I went home that night and told my wife everything. Angela, you're lying. You texted me after that night. We can't let Lydia know what happened. Remember that? Derek, tense silence, I don't remember sending that message. Judge Harper, we'll get to evidence soon. For now, did anyone else know about this before you file for the test? Mrs. Mason? Angela, my mother, she told me to drop it. Said family shame doesn't belong in court. But I couldn't live with this doubt anymore. Judge Harper nods solemnly. Sometimes the truth hurts worse than lies. But it still matters. Now, this court has been provided with text records, statements, and a DNA test from an accredited lab. Before we open that envelope, I want each of you to tell this court one thing. What you hope the truth will be. Angela, I just want peace, Your Honor. I love my sister, but I need to know who Bella's father is, even if it breaks us apart. Lydia, I want to wake up from this nightmare. I want it to be a lie, a bad dream cooked up from jealousy and regret. Derek, I want my name cleared. I want to go home to my wife, hold her hand, and never hear Angela Mason's name again. Judge Harper, then let's see what the truth says. The courtroom falls silent. The judge signals the bailiff to bring the sealed envelope. Judge Harper, opening slowly, the DNA test shows that the probability of paternity is... Camera pans to faces, Angela's trembling hands, Lydia's teary eyes, Derek's clenched jaw. Judge Harper, 99.7%. Lydia, gasps, stands up, no. No, that's not possible. You're saying my husband fathered her child? Judge Harper, that is correct, Mrs. Porter. Mr. Derek Porter is the biological father of Bella Mason. The courtroom murmurs. Lydia stumbles backward. Angela breaks into sobs. Derek lowers his head in shame. Angela, I didn't want this. I swear, Lydia, I didn't plan this. Lydia, screaming, you didn't plan it? You destroyed everything. Our marriage, our family. You ruined it all. Derek, Lydia, I'm sorry. I was weak It was one mistake. Lydia interrupts one mistake that lasted 18 years of lies. Judge Harper, order. Order in my courtroom. The gavel slams. Silence. Judge Harper, this court doesn't deal in forgiveness, only facts. The DNA results are conclusive. What you three choose to do next, that's between your hearts. But remember, a child's future depends on how you handle this moment. Angela, I'll raise Bella right, Your Honor. I'll never hide the truth from her. Lydia, you better not. Because one day, she'll ask, and I'll be the one to tell her who her father really was. Judge Harper, then I hope you tell her the truth, all of it. The gavel strikes one final time. Bailiff, court is adjourned.
The courtroom empties slowly. The echo of the gavel still rings in the air. Reporters outside swarm the doors, cameras flashing. Inside, only the three of them remain: Angela, Lydia, and Derek. The silence is louder than any argument. Angela, Lydia, please, just look at me. I didn't mean for it to happen like this. I swear to you, if I could go back. Lydia, coldly don't. Don't you dare say that again. You've said it enough already. You didn't mean for it to happen. You had years to come clean. Years. Angela. You watched me celebrate anniversaries, holidays, birthdays, with a man who was lying to me every single day. Angela, I thought it was better not to destroy what you had. I thought keeping quiet was protecting you. Lydia, protecting me? You were protecting yourself. You were afraid of being the bad sister, the home wrecker. Well, guess what? Now you're both. Derek steps between them, his hands trembling. Derek, Lydia, stop. Please. This isn't just her fault. It was mine too. Lydia, turn sharply, don't defend her, Derek. Not after what I heard in that courtroom. You lied to me, looked me in the eye every night like nothing happened. You let me raise another woman's child at my own dinner table. Derek, I didn't let anything happen. I didn't even know for sure until the test. But that night, I should have stopped it. I should have left the house. Lydia, sneers, but you didn't. You stayed. You comforted her. Angela, stop. Please. Don't make this uglier than it already is. Lydia, oh, it's already ugly. You two made sure of that. You betrayed blood, vows, and truth, all in one night. Lydia steps back, tears welling up but voice hard as steel. Lydia, you know what's worse? I prayed for you, Angela. Every time life hit you hard, I told Derek, she's just lost. She needs us. And he'd nod, because we both pitied you. But while I was praying for your strength, you were taking my marriage apart. Angela, I can't undo the past, Lydia. But Bella didn't ask for this. She deserves both of her parents to love her, even if it's complicated. Lydia laughs bitterly. You think I want that man anywhere near that child now? The man who destroyed my trust? The man who slept with my sister? Derek lowers his head. His voice cracks. Derek, I know I don't deserve forgiveness, but I can't abandon her, or Bella. I have to take responsibility. Lydia, responsibility? That's convenient. You ignored that for 2 decades. You don't get to play father now that the cameras are gone. Judge Harper re-enters quietly from her chambers, hearing the lingering argument. Judge Harper, enough. This courtroom is not your battlefield anymore, but I can't stand by while a family rips itself apart in the hallway. They all fall silent, glancing at the judge. Judge Harper, I've seen hundreds of families go through this. Secrets, affairs, betrayals. But do you know what destroys them the most? Not the lie. It's the refusal to face what comes after the truth. You've already done the hardest thing. You brought this into the open. Now comes the real test. Who can live with it? Angela, I just want my daughter to know where she came from. Lydia, and I just want to forget. Judge Harper, you can't. None of you can. But you can decide whether Bella grows up in a world poisoned by your resentment, or strengthened by your truth. The judge steps closer, softer now. Judge Harper, Mrs. Porter, Lydia, I know it feels like your entire world's been turned inside out. But don't confuse revenge with healing. If you hold on to hate, you'll be chained to it for life. Lydia's face softens, but the pain remains. Lydia, I don't hate her, Judge. I just don't recognize her anymore. Angela, I'm still your sister, Lydia. Broken, but still here. A long silence. The weight of years sits heavy between them. Judge Harper, then maybe it's time to start figuring out what family means again. Not what it was, but what it can be. The judge turns to leave, but pauses at the door. Judge Harper, Mr. Porter, my advice to you, don't try to fix this overnight. You built your lies brick by brick. If you want to rebuild, start by tearing down your pride first. She exits. The sisters remain frozen in the wreckage of truth. Angela, Lydia, please, come home with me. Talk to Bella. She keeps asking for you. She doesn't understand why you don't visit anymore. Lydia, maybe one day. But not now. I can't look at her without seeing him. She turns away. Derek reaches out, but she steps back. Lydia, you had one job, to protect our family. You failed. So now, you live with what you did. She walks away, heels clicking down the hallway like a heartbeat fading into distance. Derek stands still. Angela's eyes fill with tears. Angela, you think she'll ever forgive us? Derek, I don't know. But I'll keep trying, for Bella's sake. He exits slowly, leaving Angela alone under the fluorescent hallway lights. She looks up, whispering to herself. Angela, for Bella's sake, maybe one day, she'll forgive me too. Fade out, the echo of truth, still ringing in the quiet hall. The clock ticks softly inside Judge Harper's private chambers. Afternoon light filters through half-closed blinds, streaking the room in muted gold. The heavy door creaks open as a clerk ushers in Angela and Lydia. They don't speak, only exchange cautious glances. The judge sits behind a desk, files neatly stacked, eyes calm but sharp. Judge Harper, sit down, both of you. They obey, the air thick with tension. You know why you're here. What happened in my courtroom wasn't just a verdict. It was a fracture. And if you don't deal with it now, it will consume every person tied to you, especially that child. Lydia, with respect, Your Honor, there's nothing left to deal with. The truth is out. I'm done. Angela, Lydia, please. Lydia, cuts her off. Don't. I've said all I needed to say. Judge Harper, you've said everything, Mrs. Porter, but you haven't heard anything. She leans forward. You two built your lives around silence. Angela, you're right. And I've run out of excuses. But I can't change the past. I can only tell you that I still love you, even if you never speak to me again. Judge Harper rises, walking slowly around her desk until she stands between them. Judge Harper, you both want the same thing, peace. But peace doesn't come when you win an argument. It comes when you stop fighting the truth. She looks at Lydia. You don't have to forgive her today. But don't turn your pain into a prison. Then to Angela. And you, stop asking for forgiveness like it's something owed. Earn it by being honest from now on. The sisters sit in silence. The judge moves toward the window, staring out at the city below. Judge Harper, I've been doing this for 30 years. I've seen families destroyed by lies, and some rebuilt by grace. It's never easy. But it starts here, in this room, with one decision. Are you going to heal, or are you going to haunt each other for the rest of your lives? Angela looks up, voice barely a whisper. Angela, I'll do whatever it takes to fix it. Lydia, quietly, I don't know if I can. Judge Harper, that's honest. That's enough for now. The judge opens a drawer, pulling out a small sealed envelope and places it between them. Judge Harper, inside this envelope is the court's recommendation, custody terms, therapy, visitation. But I want you to open it together, outside these walls. Because what's written there only matters if you both decide to start living again. She steps back, folding her arms. Judge Harper, the law can tell you who the father is. But only you two can decide who the family will be. A long pause. Lydia stands, picks up the envelope, and for the first time since the trial began, looks directly at her sister. Lydia, I'll meet you at the park tomorrow. Bella deserves to hear the truth, from both of us. Angela nods silently, tears streaming down her face. Judge Harper, good. That's all I wanted to hear. They start to leave. Just before the door closes behind them, the judge speaks softly, more to herself than to them. Judge Harper, justice exposes the truth, but mercy gives it meaning. Fade out. The faint sound of a child's laughter echoes as the scene transitions. The next morning, sunlight breaking through storm clouds. Morning sunlight filters through the tall oak trees of Crestwood Park. The camera pans over a quiet playground, birds chirping faintly in the background. Lydia stands near a bench, envelope still in her hand. She looks tense, scanning the path ahead. Angela arrives moments later, holding a small paper bag and clutching a child's drawing, one that says family. Angela, I wasn't sure you'd come. Lydia, I said I would. That doesn't mean I know what to say. Angela sets the bag down and takes a slow breath. Angela, you don't have to say anything yet. Bella's on her way with my friend Tessa. I thought, it's better if we both tell her. Together. Lydia, together? Chuckles bitterly, you and I don't even know how to be in the same room without breaking. Angela, maybe this is where we start learning. Silence. A few seconds later, a young girl, around 10, runs across the field, holding a small kite. Her laughter fills the air. Tessa follows behind her. Lydia stiffens as the child runs straight to her. Bella, Aunt Lydia. You came. Lydia kneels down and hugs her tightly, holding back tears. Lydia, of course I did, sweetheart. I missed you. Bella turns to Angela, smiling. Bella, Mommy said you and Aunt Lydia were going to make up today. Are we having a picnic? Lydia looks at Angela. Their eyes meet, and for once, there's no anger, just shared pain. Angela, yeah, baby. We are going to talk about our family. Bella sits between them on the bench, unaware of the weight in the air. The camera lingers on Lydia's trembling hands. Finally, she speaks. Lydia, Bella, do you know what makes a family? Bella, love. Angela closes her eyes, the word cutting through her. Lydia, that's right. But sometimes, even people who love each other make big mistakes. Bella looks confused. Bella, did I do something wrong? Angela, no, honey. You didn't do anything wrong. We did. The camera slowly zooms in as Lydia exhales deeply and nods to Angela. Lydia, Bella, I need to tell you something about who you are, about where you came from. The child's smile fades a little. She senses the tension but listens closely. Angela's voice cracks as she continues. Angela, remember how I told you that Uncle David, Lydia's husband, helped me a long time ago when I was really sad? Bella, Angela, well, something happened back then. Something that shouldn't have. And because of that, Uncle David might be your biological father. The words hang in the air like thunder. Lydia stares straight ahead, her jaw tight, tears streaming silently down her face. Bella blinks, trying to understand. Bella, so, Aunt Lydia's husband is my dad? Angela nods, shaking. Bella, then does that mean Aunt Lydia is my mom too? Lydia suddenly lets out a choked sob. She grabs Bella's hands. Lydia, no, baby. You have a mom, and it's her. She gestures toward Angela. You were born from her heart, but you'll always be loved from mine. Bella looks between them, tears starting to well up. She reaches out and pulls both women into a small, trembling hug. Bella, I don't care who's who. You're both my family. I just don't want anyone to fight anymore. The women hold her tightly, crying into her hair. For the first time, the silence between them feels peaceful, not painful. The camera pans upward, catching the soft sunlight breaking through the trees. After a long pause, Lydia stands and looks toward the courthouse in the distance. Lydia, we should open it. The envelope. Let's see what the judge decided. Angela nods, taking the envelope from Lydia's hand. She opens it carefully. Inside are court orders, but also a handwritten note from Judge Harper. When truth is spoken, justice listens. Custody may belong to one, but love belongs to all. Judge Harper. Lydia reads it aloud. They exchange looks of disbelief, and something else, understanding. Angela, she knew we'd read it together. Lydia, yeah. She always does. The camera zooms in on Bella's face, smiling faintly as the kite flies high above them. Cut to black, a slow fade as the sound of the kite flapping turns into the hum of a courtroom microphone switching on again. The courtroom is packed. Cameras flash. Reporters whisper into their microphones as Judge Harper re-enters the chamber. Her face is calm, but her eyes reveal exhaustion. The national spotlight has found her, not for her rulings, but for her compassion. And in the cold machinery of justice, compassion is often the most dangerous crime. Mike, the court clerk, adjusts his glasses nervously as the crowd murmurs. "Clerk, Mike, all rise. Court is now in session. The Honourable Judge Evelyn Harper presiding. Everyone stands." Harper gives a small nod, signalling them to sit. "Judge Harper, before we begin, I'm aware of the public criticism that this court overstepped by allowing emotion into its rulings. Some have even said justice has been compromised." Her voice is steady, firm. The room falls silent. "Judge Harper, I've been accused of favouring sympathy over law, of allowing a child's tears to shape a verdict. But what those critics fail to understand is that the law is built for the human heart. Without compassion, it's just paper." A man in the front row, a stern attorney for the opposing side, stands abruptly. "Mr. Cole, Your Honour, with all due respect, the law must remain blind. If we let feelings rewrite the code, the system collapses." Judge Harper rises from her chair, slowly, deliberately. The moment feels electric. "Judge Harper, Mr. Cole, blindness in justice was never meant to ignore pain. It was meant to ignore prejudice. Don't confuse the two." A soft murmur sweeps through the crowd. The cameras zoom in as she reaches beneath her bench and pulls out a folded piece of cloth. She lays it flat on the desk. It's the American flag, small but pristine.
"Judge Harper, this flag has been in every courtroom I've served. Do you know why it stands behind me, Mr. Cole?" He hesitates. "Mr. Cole, to represent the Constitution." Judge Harper, "No. It stands to remind us who the Constitution is meant to protect. Every person who walks into this room, broken, accused, or betrayed, that's who it's for." She unfolds the flag fully now, the stars and stripes catching the light. The courtroom is dead silent. Judge Harper, "Today, I raise this flag, not as a symbol of power but of accountability, because real justice doesn't serve the strong. It stands for the voiceless, and if that offends this court, so be it." Gasps echo. The opposing lawyers whisper urgently. A few jurors exchange looks, unsure if they're witnessing history or her downfall. Mr. Cole slams his briefcase shut. "Mr. Cole, you're politicizing the bench, Your Honor. You've turned this proceeding into a theater." Judge Harper, "Theater? Then let the world watch, because for once, this theater speaks truth." She steps down from the bench and walks toward the witness stand, her robes sweeping behind her like a wave. Her tone shifts, not angry, but raw. "Judge Harper, I've seen children cry for fathers who never came home. I've seen mothers beg for a fair chance while men with money bought mercy. And every time I looked at this flag, I reminded myself, justice is not silence. Justice must speak." The crowd stirs. Some reporters start recording live. The hashtag Judge Harper begins trending online. A mix of outrage and admiration floods social media. Suddenly, one of the senior justices, Chief Judge Monroe, enters the courtroom. The chatter stops instantly. He walks with heavy authority. Chief Judge Monroe, "Judge Harper, you're out of order." Harper turns, holding the flag close. Judge Harper, "No, sir, I'm in order for the first time in my life." Chief Judge Monroe, "You're undermining judicial integrity." Judge Harper, "No, I'm restoring it. Integrity isn't about obedience, it's about courage." The Chief Judge glares at her. The entire courtroom watches, breathless. Chief Judge Monroe, "Then I'll ask one last time. Will you lower that flag and return to your bench?" A long pause. The camera pans from Harper's trembling hand on the flag to the faces of Angela, Lydia, and Bella, sitting quietly in the audience, tears streaming down. Harper looks at them. Then she looks back at Monroe. Judge Harper, softly, "I won't lower it until this court remembers who it serves." Monroe clenches his jaw and slams his gavel. Chief Judge Monroe, "Then this court is adjourned." But Harper doesn't sit. Instead, she turns toward the gallery, her voice rising, not shouting, but resonant, the kind of tone that shakes walls and hearts alike. Judge Harper, every courtroom has a flag, but not every flag has meaning. Today, it does. Let it remind every judge, every lawyer, every citizen that truth is not treason. The audience stands. Some clap hesitantly, others remain still, stunned. The sound of the flag unfurling fills the silence as Harper walks out through the side door, the fabric trailing behind her like a closing curtain. The camera lingers on the flag resting on the judge's chair, half folded, half flying, as the gavel sound echoes one final time. The judge raised the flag. Her response turned the entire court against him.